Hello, good morning, and welcome to another Claret and Booze daily show with myself, John, also known as Virgil of the Marshes. This is the second of our daily shows that we have 3 of each week. Gary, myself, and Nick have a little 10-15 minute chat about West Ham, current events, news items, transfers, etc., etc. However, today is slightly different. Today we are going to be talking about a highly emotional subject for me, and I'm sure many of you out there. That is the impending retirement of Mr. West Ham, club legend, in my opinion, and I'm sure many of you's, Mark Noble's impending retirement. Now, as we know, this coming Sunday at 2 o'clock at the London Stadium, West Ham will be playing at home to Manchester City in a game that still has a lot riding on it in terms of potentially nicking 6th spot. Now, we know it's going to be tough, but there is an opportunity to do so. However, for me, more importantly, it is the last game that I will see Mark Noble play live for West Ham United. I'm not lucky enough to be going to Brighton, and alongside my son and many, many tens of thousands of other West Ham fans, this will be the last time we will see club legend Mark Noble putting on the claret and blue in a competitive match at home. It's going to be a terrible day for me. It's going to be highly emotional, but it's also going to be a celebration of the career, the effort, and the pure devotion that this man has shown the club. I'm sure that on the 8th of May 1987, when he was born to his West Ham parents in Canning Town, just a couple of miles up the road from Upton Park, I'm sure that they couldn't even see the career that Mark was going to have at West Ham United. I'm sure that they could only dream that this man would play over 500 games, scoring over 50 goals for West Ham, and being a captain for the last few years, I think since 2015, being pretty much the club captain throughout. For me, Mark epitomises what it is to be a West Ham fan. I mean, can you imagine, as a West Ham fan, pulling on the West Ham shirt and playing for your boyhood club? Me neither. Mark joined the West Ham Academy in 2004 after a very brief couple of years playing for Arsenal at Hayland End Academy. We won't go too much details about that, will we, Mark? Obviously, West Ham saw something in him they liked, and he was brought into the academy in 2000. In 2004, he signed his professional papers, professional contract. And apart from a couple of loan spells out at Hull City in 2006, as well as Ipswich in 2006, he has been West Ham through and through. And to be honest with you, it's going to be a highly emotionally charged day for me and many others on Sunday. A lot of people question the word legend. The word legend can be thrown around, quite candidly these days. But for me, and I hope for many of you, Noble will go down as a club legend. And I think even those that, question his legendary status, probably based on the incident when he, grabbed the West Ham fan on the pitch and tried to pull him off the pitch in that synonymous game against Burnley, when things were going from bad to worse for the club. That was the only blot on his reputation. And whilst I understand people's opinions on that, I think also you've got to envisage the emotion that he was going through at that time. That's his club. And whilst I don't commend or agree with maybe the way he acted towards that fan, I do, however, see that, we all make mistakes. And I hope that those that have questioned his legendary status because of that incident can now start to see fit to forgive him for this mistake that he made. It would be very interesting for me once he's retired to possibly hear his take on it, now when he's not playing for West Ham, when he possibly doesn't have to toe the company line, for want of a better phrase. For me, he's most definitely a club legend. I don't think we'll ever get this type of one club player ever again. Why? I don't know. But I think the loyalty that he's shown the club over the years. The passion that obviously fills his heart, which you can see when he plays, is second to none. And before Declan Rice came along, I would always say that the type of player that he is at West Ham couldn't be beaten. Declan Rice, we know, is going to have a far more successful, trophy-laden career when he continues through his football journey. Noble, hasn't won much, but what Noble has done to me and many others is won a place in, without getting too emotional, he's won a place in our hearts. Whether you like what he did or not on that ill-fated day against Burnley, you can't question his dedication to the club. He's that one link between West Ham as it was and West Ham as it is now, in my opinion. He's that one link, born in Canning Town, raised around the corner, playing at Upton Park as it was then. For me, I don't think he's going to be beaten. I don't think we're going to see this type of player ever again pull on the claret and blue. Not only a one-club legend, but a supporter, an actual supporter of our club. When he said that, when he gave out that open letter to the fans telling us that he was going to quit at the end of this season, I don't think it really sunk in with me. And as the season's gone on, we've had a few distractions on the way, haven't we? Our fantastic run to the semi-final, which he was part of, whether you like it or not. Our fighting in terms of league positions to qualify once again for a European competition, whether that be the Champions League, the Europa League, or the conference, as Gary discussed yesterday. I don't think until recently, probably after losing against Frankfurt, the magnitude of what's going to be happening on Sunday has began to sunk in with me. And I don't want it to be a morbid affair and a highly emotionally depressing affair. I want it to be a celebration of what Noble's done for this club. In that 16 season when we had Dimitri Payet ripping it up at Upton Park, yes, Payet was fantastic that season, but we can't forget that Noble was making things tick in the heart of this team at that time. He was the linchpin. He was keeping things ticking over, and he was feeding this. He was feeding Payet, in my opinion. And it didn't go unnoticed, because a lot of people started to question, how's he never played for England before? Noble represented England at under 16 level, under 17, under 18, under 19, under 21 level. But he was never able to make that step up to the England first team, the England national team. How? I genuinely don't know. To not even get one cap for your country. He has the most Premier League appearances of any Englishman. This is his record. It's not a great record. He has the most Premier League appearances for any Englishman without winning a cap. And you're telling me that he hasn't deserved to at least get one England cap. Now, you could say I'm speaking with my West Ham hat on. Maybe I am, but I don't truly think I'm being biased. When you listen to some of the players, the midfielders that have had at least a cap, far inferior midfielders, in my opinion. I've got a list of them here. Jake Livermore, Tom Huddleston, Tom Cleverley, Gavin McCann, Jack Cork. That's right, Jack Cork. Leon Osman. They have at least had one cap for England. And you're telling me that Mark Noble at no point has deserved to get an England call up? He most definitely has. We don't know what's going to happen next with Noble. We don't know if he's going to go into coaching, if he's going to stay in the coaching role at West Ham somewhere along the line in the back room. That would be fantastic. There's no doubt that you've noticed he has instilled into a lot of players, whether they be overseas or some of the young crop coming through. He has instilled how important and what it is to play for West Ham United. And I think that he is a very important cog in the wheel over the last couple of years in the success we've had. Even when he's not playing, he's on the bench, he's in the dressing room. You can only imagine the information and what he's given across to these young players and older players, you know. We remember that when Jesse Lingard came in, he wasn't happy with Jesse being on the phone. He obviously took away phones and banned phones. He wanted the group to get to know each other. He wanted team spirit, team bonding. And this is what someone, you know, this is what someone like Noble brings. He brings a sense of what it means to represent our club, his club, right? After all these years of playing for West Ham, I hope the club do him proud. I hope the club give him the send-off he deserves. And you know what? I hope Noble is able to contribute on Sunday to something. I hope Noble is able to contribute to a positive result, which is what we're looking for against City. You know, going out as a career high for him of us getting to the Europa League semi-final and re-qualifying for Europe, although not a trophy, you know, it will mean so much. We know where he's come from. We know what it means to him. And in some ways, this will be leaving the club on a high. He's leaving the club in good hands, the captaincy to Declan Rice, who, in my opinion, seems to be in the same mould in terms of what it means to play for West Ham, in the same mould as Noble. Rice has the same relationship, or has a fantastic relationship with the fans, as does Noble. There's no reason why, if Declan stayed, he wouldn't be the new Mr. West Ham, but we know that probably isn't going to happen. However, this is about Noble now. This is about Mr. West Ham. And I hope on Sunday that the fans really do get behind and cheer Noble on for what will be a highly emotional day for him and his family. We can only hope that in years to come, his son, Lenny, who is at the club, will carry on the Noble mantra of coming through and playing for the club that they support. So I'm sure you will, and I hope you will. But on Sunday, I hope you raise a glass to this club legend, and I hope you give him all the support and get the atmosphere going on Sunday, because not only the club need to know that we're there for them after the disappointment of Frankfurt, but Noble needs to know, and I'm sure he will know what he has meant to us over the years. I would just like to say, for me, I'd like to thank Mark Noble for what he's done for the club. I'd like to thank Mark Noble for the way he's carried himself on and off the pitch throughout his career. He is an ultimate professional. He is somebody like Declan Rice, who I would say to my son who loves football, they're the sort of players you've got to look up to. They're the sort of players you've got to try and mould yourself into. They're the players that are professionals 100%. And Mark, I would just like to say from the bottom of my heart, and I hope, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of fans out there, I would like to say thank you for everything you've done for the club. I know I've rambled on a little bit here, but the good news is, and the breaking news is, that we will see Mark Noble in an England shirt, and that will be playing for Soccer Aid, which will be played at the London Stadium this season. So, Mark, I know it's not a proper England call-up, but I will see you wearing the three lines, and not only that, wearing the three lines at the London Stadium. Thanks for everything. I look forward to Sunday. I'll be raising a glass to you. You're not watching, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But anyway, I know the fans will get behind you, as they will. Good luck on Sunday, and come on, you Irons. Come on, Noble.